Hi, this is Keely Schneider with Workforce Partnership, and I'm here to give you resume tip number 5. And that is include on your resume relevant employment history and educational history. I have people ask, how much of my employment history should I put on my resume? Or how much detail should I include on my educational history? And these are good questions, but unfortunately the answer kind of depends. It depends on the length of your employment history, right? So what I tell people is if you've had a long employment history, you really need to focus on your most recent job experiences. They are the most important and the most important aspects of who you are right now. However, if you have had some history with a job that is very relevant to what you're applying for today, and that history was many, many years ago, it's okay to include that. Just make sure that you are watching the length of your resume and it doesn't get too long. For those of you with a much shorter employment history, or perhaps those who are fresh out of school, it's perfectly fine to list every job you've had. Just make sure when you do those job descriptions in there that you are highlighting what it is that's relevant to this job that you're applying for. When it comes to educational history, make sure that your education is always included. If you're a younger job seeker and fresh out of school, you might even want to include some awards or scholarships that you've received. If you've already received a post-secondary credential, either a certificate or a degree, you don't need to include your high school graduation. It's assumed. But if you have a high school diploma or a GED and have not yet achieved a post-secondary credential, make sure you include that high school graduation on your resume. That's very critical that employers know you have a high school credential. Doing these things, again, will help make your resume relevant and show your employer the value that you can bring to their company.